The pollen has been crazy here. We got some heavy rains last night and it's already back. But now it's time to look into this car and start cleaning it a little bit. Because if I'm gonna find a new home for it, I need to figure out what all is in it. This is all messed up. Ooh. I don't even think this is salvageable. But the sad thing is, I can't separate this from the carpet that is still good. Oh wait, yes I can. Ew. I'm gonna take it out of the car to do it because it is coming apart. It looks like some of the screws have already been removed and all of these are loose. Yee. I may just try and vacuum this off. Deserve what carpet I can. Eek, even this is coming apart. Ew. Didn't know any of this was back here. Why the hell is this all beat up? Previous owner golfed. What is that? I don't know what that is. But there is a bunch of trash back here. Yeah. Pine cone. I'm gonna vacuum that up. It looks like surface rust. Yeah, I suspect it was from the taillights leaking. Damn, water bottles. Wait a minute. Oh, that's where this was mounted. That's the other parts of this, and it rusted away. So I guess the taillights were leaking because this lines up with that. Aha! Aha! I imagine that's why this broke. Yes! And it was, because that is where the ring of the spare tire sat. So I imagine they put the silicone around here to stop that leak there. It's not leaking anymore because we had heavy rains last night and it was outside. But this, well, I'll see how much I can clean it. We may have to address this. Funny enough, a lot of this black stuff is coming off. I don't think it's gonna come off here, but at least some of this, at least some of that'll come off. But ew. But anyway, I know what's back here now. I didn't before. Yeah, I don't think this will lay flat with the spare upside down. Nah. I'm thinking this whole back section I'm gonna throw away, but these mechanisms may be worth saving. Yeah, this is no good. Let's see what the trunk looks like with this laid back in there. Almost presentable. And the Velcro's still there. I mean, that's almost presentable. I've seen some that are a lot worse though. I don't even know what this is. I've never opened it. Oh, a little, let's see what it is. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know this is here. Oh no, they've got screws out, but they look like the wrong screws, and it looks like whatever they screw into won't hold them. Well, that's okay. For as old as this car is, it doesn't look like it was abused. It just looks like it was used, you know? And what, almost 40 years? A lot of this stuff held up. Later that day, a prospective buyer wanted to take a look at the CRX. So I met them at the storage unit, and when he took it for a drive, he stepped on it in ways that I had not done yet. And he reported back that he saw some smoke. So I had him rev it pretty hard in front of me, and this is what it looked like. I have some ideas as to what is happening, and I got some advice from my neighbor who is a mechanic and also a Honda head. But I had other things to do before I could dig into it, and I wanted to take it to Cars and Coffee. So the next morning we were headed to Cars and Coffee, and this is as far as we got.
She died.
So unfortunately, myself and the CRX did not make it to Cars and Coffee, but my wife picked up Lance and took him because his family was there, and I waited for a tow truck. We got it back home without incident, but now I have more troubleshooting to do. Yep, it died on me on the way to Cars and Coffee, so I'm gonna see if I got spark. I don't know what happened, but we'll find out. So, we have spark. So next I'm gonna check fuel, and that's likely what it is. I didn't bother to check the fuel pressure because I knew I had spark, so I jumped straight to replacing the fuel pump. Let's see if that is indeed the case. So there's a screw here, and I think there's a matching one on the other side. Yeah, there is, and there's some on the back, but guess what? Mine are not there anymore. And I think that lets me take this out or set it aside. Yeah, there are screws that are along the back side here when you open it. Mine just aren't there anymore. This does not look OEM. What is this stuff? This looks like, I don't know, cotton? Not cotton, but anyway, let me at least set it aside. All right, we may have to come up with something new for this area because that's not getting it. This rubber mat looks like it's supposed to be here though. So I went up front and disconnected the negative battery terminal. So now I've disconnected this. So I'm going to remove this plate. Let's see, how does this come off? I wanted it a little bit higher, so I put these blocks here to hopefully give me a little bit more room. So I am gonna have to drop the tank, and I'm just kind of getting the lay of the land now, so I'm gonna take this cover off and see how much of this I have to deal with. I am gonna have to remove both of these straps here. I don't even know if this needs to come off. I believe it's a little plastic screw that's stripped. Let's see if I can just pull it off. Well, it looks like it's just connected to the tank and whatever's above it is free. So for now, I'm gonna leave it on. And this clamp here that holds the tube that connects to the filler neck, I'm gonna take it off because I would hate to break something going in here kind of blind. I'm also gonna remove this hose clamp that I believe is for the vent tube. Definitely glad I got on my eye protection. I started to remove the tubes, but they were so difficult to get off that I decided to leave them in place while I dropped the tank to see if I had enough space. And unfortunately, I have a full tank now, so maybe I need to drain some of it out. Oh no, this is gonna be bad. All right, crisis averted. I think I'll be able to put enough in here to remove the hoses. Getting close to the top. Well, since these tubes give me so much trouble, I'm gonna see how much access I have if I just drop it the way it is now. These threads look good, but have had some time in the elements. So I'm gonna see if lubing them up before I start removing these nuts helps them out. That's just WD-40, that's not peanut butter blaster. Let's see. Oh shoot, I need something to support it. All right, I'm maybe it's not supposed to come all the way off. All right, let's see about lowering it. And that's about as far as it wants. I was about to say that's as far as it wants to come. But this strap is behind this exhaust heat shield, so I'm gonna take it off. Not only will that let me get to the strap a little better, but when I drop the tank, it'll allow it to drop a little more evenly. So now, you should be free. Let's see, can I get this one out? No. And there's the pump right there. But I am putting a bit of stress on some tubes. So let me see what I can do about that. Oh, look at that. Those hoses that I was worried so much about up front, they're not under much stress at all. So I'm gonna take this banjo bolt off. And there comes the fuel. See if I can plug it. Because I am making a mess. Nope. All right, let's see if that's enough. All right, that was enough. Damn, I can't get that off. Yeah, I'm worried about stripping that. Let's see if that lets me pull this out. All right, what am I missing? What was keeping me was this. There's a bolt with a 10 millimeter head right here. I think that'll give me free. Yes. Yeah, removing this tube should make it a bit easier. But I was trying to not, but I think that's the way to go. All right, got that tube out. Now that should make this come out easy. So that's the fuel pump I took out of the car. And look how much smaller this fuel pump is. Am I missing something? I really would like to get this screw off. Oh well, I guess I'll just leave it. And these are good clamps. And this tube seems to be in good condition too. But I can take that off later because it does not want to move. I wanted to cut this as close as I could to the end to give as much slack as possible. There's one, and there is the other. Now we gotta strip them. Thankfully, there's plenty of slack on the other side. That'll work. And that will work too. So I'm going to crimp these on. And that is not a good crimp. Oh, wait a minute. That is a good crimp. I was pulling on this. Yeah, it's a good crimp. Not a good crimp. Thankfully, I was able to put the other end into the side that I poorly crimped. And with a good grip, I got it in. And now that's a good crimp. So let's try this one again. And let's hope I do it better. I hesitate to test it because I might pull it out, but okay, good. That's a good crimp. And now this side. All right, I may have to use a hose clamp to hold this on because it is much smaller motor than the other one. The new pump came with this, which will fit nicely right there. And funny enough, the tubing seems to be a perfect fit. But yeah, I got a lot of extra wiring, but I guess that'll be okay. Yeah, I thought I may have to clamp it, but no, I can just set it like that and be good to go. Now it came with worm gear clamps, but I like these better, so I'm gonna use these. So I'm gonna slide this on. That's a tight fit. I'll put this one on as well. Actually, that looks pretty good. And now, just gotta plug it up. Actually, that's not bad. And I got a new strainer. And, oh, I should have put it on first. But that's okay. Gotta figure this out. Okay, okay. All right, that goes like that. It's a very snug fit. So there we go. The new strainer on and the little bottom. I think we're ready to put this bad boy back in. So what I ordered was a replacement strainer for a CRX, and it came with this, which would go right here on the original pump. But the new pump didn't have that. It was a snug fit here, so I just put it on, and there was nowhere for this to go. But yeah, that's secure. So let's go ahead and put it back in the tank. Don't even ask me how I got it settled. I was convinced that I was doing something wrong, and then eventually it just dropped in and was like, hey, this is where I want to be. Did I speak too soon? Why don't you want to go down now? There we go. So I cleaned up these nuts a little bit because they were dirty, but I was taking them off. Make sure this is nice and clean, and I do the same thing with the washers that go between the banjo bolt and this. And I might as well make sure the banjo bolt is good and clean. Is that fuel coming out already? Where is that coming from? Oh shoot, that tube. If you want to do this on your car, don't make the mistake I did. Drain as much of the fuel as you can. I was in the unfortunate situation where I'd filled it up and then the fuel pump went bad, and I didn't want to go get extra containers to drain it, so I thought I could deal with it, but I would have much rather not had to deal with this. All right, I think I have all the outlets plugged now, but I do have a lot of fuel on the ground. So hopefully I can get one strap to hold it up while I set up the other. This little annoying bracket right here, I think that's everything back here. I gotta do this thing, but that's not gonna be a big deal. So now the fuel pump is hooked up enough for me to try and start the car. But I also got a new fuel filter, and it's right here. So I just have to remove those two banjo bolts and swap it out for the new one. I'm gonna do that before I try and start it. There should be 2 washers on each one of these. Gotta keep up with them. Yeah, one on the top and one on the bottom. So that's a funky washer that's on both sides. I'm not gonna mess with it. Whoop, there we go. Actually, it would have been easier just to remove this bolt, swing this arm out, and then pull this out, put the new one in. But I couldn't see that, so I'm going to swap it in outside of the car. So there's a little hook on the firewall that this sits in, and then you can just remount the bolts. Yeah, just take that bolt out, put the new one in. Now reconnect the banjo bolts. All right, let's test this thing. All right, the other camera died, so you hear the fuel pump. I'm gonna do it a couple times. I hear it going up to the engine now. All right, let's see. Nothing. So what could it be? Well, at least the car now has a new fuel pump. All that was left to do that night was to put everything back together. So right now I'm a bit stumped. I suspected low fuel pressure because of when I unplugged the fuel line and I only got a dribble out and there was no pressure on the line. I checked spark, so maybe it's the fuel pressure regulator. But anyway, I'm tired. I need to go to bed. I'll pick this back up tomorrow. In the next video, I continue to troubleshoot why the CRX died. If you would like to follow along, hit subscribe. If you would like to see all the things I did to get it to this point, check out the playlist. Thanks for watching. Take care.